Welcome to Smashie Reviews. I'm Smashie, and today I will be reviewing The Train to Busan. You should know by now that my reviews are full of spoilers, and I pretty much go over the full plot. So if you don't take too kindly to that, go ahead and skip to the end of the video. For those who are new, I have a small checklist of things I look for in a movie, mostly horror, because that's all I watch. Plot, set, gore, acting, dialogue, and score. No particular order. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. I'm not good with names, so if I pronounce it wrong, I do apologize. This movie was directed by Yeon Sang-ho, and it was released in July 2016. Didn't exactly give me an actual date. It stars Gong, Jung, and Kim Suan. Suan. Well, in the beginning of the film, we see a guy driving, and he runs over a deer, and it ends up, and it's dead, but then it stands up with, like, cloudy eyes, and it's like a fucking zombie. It's like a damn zombie deer. My first initial thought on that was, this is not Z Nation. Not Z Nation. But it was still pretty cool. We then see a father, I'm gonna guess divorced husband and his daughter. He gets her something for her birthday, but someone else got her the same thing. She said that she wants to go to Busan to see her mother, so I'm guessing they are divorced. He refuses to at first, but then he's just like, okay, let's go. So then they get on the train, and a girl who already got bit by a zombie manages to sneak her way on there along with a homeless man, but he doesn't get on with her. She's turning, so she's walking through the train, and an attendant sees her, and she passes out, dies, and then she wakes up as a zombie and bites the attendant. And the attendant the attendant has her on her back going down the train aisle, and I'm just like, okay, so this girl's getting attacked and you guys are just gonna sit there? Apparently, people mind their own business, even when someone is getting eaten alive. The attendant turns and attacks the people. They both attack people, and then they turn, and so on and so forth. That's where I was just like, what the hell? One bite, maybe 30 seconds tops. If you get away, you turn. But if you die while they're biting you, you're fucked. You're basically fucked. The zombies are freaking crazy. Like, they multiplied like that. There's a whole train full of zombies. Maybe in 1 or 2 minutes flat. And then they start, like, piling on each other like the World War Z zombies. No! The conductor lets them know that they rerouted the train to stop at another stop, and that would be their final stop. And the father called his friend, and he was like, hey, are you there? And he said, yeah, but that's their quarantine. Go out the whatever side. So they do that, but quarantine, all the military people had done turn into zombies, basically attacked the survivors of the train. Luckily, the father, the daughter, the pregnant lady, and her husband that the father and daughter met on the train, a couple of the baseball players, and the girl, cheerleader, and the 2 grandma sisters, they lived. They managed to get out. But they got separated whenever they got on separate carts of the train. So then I was like, okay, need a good separation in a zombie film, especially one like this. It's all good. And the daughter, the pregnant lady, and the homeless man too, they were in the train, in one of the train cars, where zombies were right here and over here. And apparently the zombies cannot see in the dark, which I will get into that in a minute. They were right here and right here. And I'm just like, do not make a sound. So they go hide in the washroom. And the bathroom, well, technically the restroom. And before the train took off, zombies were breaking through the top window, like above where the train was, and falling onto it. And this is while they were still getting on the cars and stuff, which was holy fuck, like intense. And the pregnant lady calls her husband, who's with the dad, the little girl's dad, in another train car, and the baseball player that lived. And they go through those zombies, and apparently whenever the train goes through a tunnel, the zombies cannot see in the dark for some reason. They can't see them. So they find a ways to sneak past them. And they end up saving the people, the pregnant lady and that group, the pregnant lady's group. Apparently there was one guy on the train that was like, kill anybody who didn't make it on, protect ourselves, what the fuck ever. That one typical douchebag in every movie like that. In every like survival movie or something. Apparently he got to some of them and he made them tie the door shut so the others couldn't get through. But they got through anyway. He was just like, they're infected, blah blah blah, put them in another car. So they put them in another car in front of them. And then the two old ladies that were sisters, one sacrificed herself, and the other one was staring at her zombified corpse through the window, and then opened the door, killing everybody in that train car that was going with that man that was like, hey, go out, get out of here, whatever. But he got what he deserved in the end, so that's all good. After they get to Busan, I guess, the conductor was just like, hey, save yourselves, you know. Got one of the trains, and ran off, got one of the trains, one of the I don't know what they're called, it's like the front of the train where the conductor sits to drive it, I don't know what it's called. A locomotive, and he started it up, and the one guy that was an asshole, apparently he got bit, got on the train, got on the locomotive, and was just like, hey, I'm going, fuck you. And the daughter, the father, the homeless man, the pregnant lady, they were the only four left, trapped under a tipping train that was about to crush them with like zombies inside trying to break through the glass, which they successfully did. The pregnant lady, the daughter, and the father made it out, and the homeless man sacrificed himself to save their lives, which I think was a pretty good move, if you ask me. Anyway, yeah, that annoying douchebag guy, he got what was coming to him. He died. Bye. Then the father got bit, and a lot of emotion in that scene, just a lot of emotion. And he spent a couple seconds with his daughter, was just like, they were crying. Then he let go of her and went out to the end of the locomotive and started, and you could see that he was starting to turn, because obviously you get bit, you turn. Like the skin was covered with like black veins and his eyes were cloudy, but his brain was still there. So he killed himself to protect them, which I think was, as the locomotive comes to this, I guess, blockade on the tracks, the pregnant lady and the daughter get off the locomotive, and they go through the tunnel. We see two army men, one with a gun, at the end of the tunnel. They're like, hey, two unidentified people coming to your location. And you think that he's going to shoot them, but the little girl is singing the song that she practiced for her father for the recital that he never really made it to. She was singing it in honor of him sacrificing himself. And that's how they knew that they were human, and they basically lived. They got help. The plot, yeah, the plot was very well put together. The majority of the scenes kept me on the edge of my seat. It was intense, and it had a kind of like a storyline, not like a complete like out of proportion storyline, but it was subtle. A father taking his daughter to Busan so she could see her mother for her birthday. It's just great. The way the zombies are in this movie is absolutely fantastic. They climb on each other. in some scenes, like the zombies from World War Z, you know, if you die while they're munching on you, you turn immediately. You get bit and make it away from them, you get the effects, the cloudy eyes and the black veins before actually turning, which doesn't take long either. So that was actually pretty cool. The set, well, the train was, I mean, it's a train. But I do like how it was outside of the train too. Like, we see his house, his office, we see different building locations that they go to after exiting the train. So that's all I got to say about that. Gore, there was little to none. I was expecting more for the gore, since, you know, it is a zombie film. Of course, there'd be blood and guts, mostly guts, but it was still decent. The bite marks were cool looking, like all covered with black veins that spread the entire body. That was pretty cool. The blood spraying out whenever someone got bit, like right here in the like neck, shoulder area, was decent as well. The acting, pretty decent as well. One scene in particular made me tear up, and that was the scene where the dad got bit and the daughter knew what he had to do. And before he did, like I said, they were crying, and then he left, and he was crying, and then he remembered the first time holding his daughter, and then he smiled, and then we see it, and then it cuts to like his shadow along the tracks before he just goes down. The dialogue, I don't exactly have anything to say about the dialogue. All I can say really is that these actors, they put a lot into their roles, and they made their characters realistic. They made their characters real. It's beautiful. The score, aside from, you know, the suspenseful music, it was pretty calm in some parts. This movie was absolutely fantastic. I totally recommend to those who love foreign films and zombie films. I'm personally a lover of both. So that's all I got on Train to Busan. Thank you so much for watching and being patient. I very much appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment down below telling me what you thought of the movie, if you watched it already. Don't forget to subscribe to us and check out our other videos. We'd very much appreciate that. Until next time, I'm Smashie. See y'all soon.